Okay, what's up? What's up? I'm just trying to start something new. So when we meet, we talk about stuff that require critical thinking, not just, jokes and stuff that we don't want to talk about. I want to talk about critical stuff, like stuff that makes sense to me and makes sense to you. So if you know you're a critical thinker and you like to talk about serious stuff that will bring improvement, others will listen, like books, especially, and philosophies, principles. Yes, books, philosophies, and principles. That's what I seek to talk about, you know. So this is just a test transmission, sort of, for this new quest. I don't want to be a part of what I call entertainers, because I see that in Africa, which I'm more concerned about. Our problem is not entertainment. We know how to entertain. Our problem is critical thinking and enlightenment. So if you have a similar drive or passion, yeah, creating that ecosystem where we can form alliances, critical thinkers alliances. And we talk about stuff that we believe in and stuff that would move our continent forward, our generation forward, because I feel like we're running out of time, very soon the owners of the internet will either put a price on it or they'll take it back, and we'll miss that opportunity to come together and do something meaningful. My critical thinking lives will not be long on ending, just 30 minutes to 45 minutes, maximum an hour. And then I go on about my life. And then when the spirit calls again, we reconvene, because the internet is here for us. So we should be able to come on and off as demand requires. So I'm gonna make my platform a place for critical thinking and philosophical conversations, principles, and books, especially because that is our major challenge. Because very few read, we have a problem of critical thinking. And so I think we need to start encouraging and talking about books more as a generation so that we can. Greetings, my brother Kobe. It's good to see you. I know you'll be the first person to pop in because we are on the same frequency. So it's one day at a time, 1 hour or 30 minutes at a time. But like the Bible says, if you have a candle, you don't put it on a table and cover it with a bowl. You put it up so that the light will shine. And today, in our generation, we have the internet. I can imagine what Kwame Nkrumah would have done in our generation if he was alive in this generation, because he was on fire and critically thinking. I think one of the things that really could have been our power was to have formed a mastermind alliance, to have as many people of his kind in our communities to propagate the ideologies and the philosophies that he stood for. I'm talking about Kwame Nkrumah. But today, we are lucky. We have the power of the World Wide Web. We have the power of TikTok. We have the power of Facebook, Instagram, whichever we choose to use, YouTube. So I feel some of us have that spirit of selflessness, to share the knowledge and experience and the principles and the philosophies that we've come across over the years to help in one way or the other as we can, because we are all world changers. I believe that everybody who reads has the potential to be a leader, and we need to spearhead this agenda together so that when we turn 60, 70, when our bones are becoming weak, we will have a group of critical thinking children or that generation to put systems in place for us to live a comfortable life. Because sometimes when I think about Ghana, it's so sad. But I'm also hopeful that if I'm creative, or if we are all creative, we can use the power of the internet to bring about some form of enlightenment and awakening to guarantee our future. So if you are here today, this is just an introduction. I'll not talk too much because I like to save this and post on my post so that others can also watch it and then follow, so that we create a movement. It's not time to criticize the junk that is out there. Rather, channel the energy into creating positive alternatives. I don't like complaining. I like solution based conversations. So I know some of you out there share similar sentiments, but someone has to start. I've been waiting to see people doing what I'm doing, but some way or the other, the algorithm doesn't make me meet such people. So I decided to today start the critical thinking platform, so that if you are somebody who likes to think critically and talk about serious stuff, come and let's talk, because there's too much joke online. And entertainment is not our problem in this generation. We know how to entertain. What we lack is critical thinking. So, making myself a platform. Hi, Lord Akman. Akam. I see you, Lord Akam. You are a critical thinker. I respect you. I see you, brother. And many of your kind, I hope that we can align and create a movement, and then I know with time it will become the next avalanche online. So thank you guys for passing through and responding to this live. I see you. I don't care for numbers. I care for quality content. People who are generational. People who are world changers. That's the word. I am a world changer. My world changing skills is through Jesus. And if you have another world changing skill, I respect it. But we need to think about ourselves collectively, because we are running out of time. Sometimes I feel some aches in my back. Ojam Ado, I see you, brother. Being Chris Love. I feel some pains in my body once in a while, and I wonder how it's going to be like when we are in our 80s and then we leave behind children who don't have critical thinking skills in the helm of affairs. So we need to discuss philosophies, principles, policies, and procedures so that we will create the alternative to the dance culture and the sex life culture and the relationship culture. This is going to be an alternative. Okay, we talk like leaders over here because we are the leaders in our generation. If you had the power to do anything that you want to do today, what will you do different? Because if I look back at Ghana, it is heartbreaking that we have people in the helm of affairs who don't know what they're about. I'm not about criticizing. I'm about solutions. I know these people in positions of authority and power really have great intentions to do things for the country and the generation, but they just don't know how or where to start. And I feel like the basic problem is the lack of our interest in reading stuff. And a generation that lacks readers is doomed. America and Europe and all the other countries that are thriving today have what they call bestseller lists. Bestseller lists are not movies, they are books. They are books that people read, and And it's only in Africa or in Ghana that people who write books are the poorest. But elsewhere, people who write books that transform lives are millionaires. So we need to change the narrative and encourage the up and coming children to read books. If you've read a book that was life transforming, this is the platform to come on to share those kind of books with us, because I've read a couple of books, and I'm very lucky to have had friends who introduced me to materials that really changed my mind, and I'm living with some of those materials today. Somebody that I can mention confidently is Ojam Ado. I don't know if you all see him in there. He just popped up. One of my very good brothers. I don't call him a friend anymore. He's my brother, because he led me on the path of, oh yeah, I see critical view. All right, I got to follow you. I think we already follow each other. Yes, critical view. Thank you for passing through. I like critical thinkers. Yeah, so like I was saying, Ojamado, I can tell you a little bit about my friend and I. We come from Ghana. We went to primary and basic school together. And I love this man because he showed me some books that really changed my life. I can confidently say Ojamado is being a catalyst of my change in reading books. His father is a professor. And I remember one time when we were doing our national service in Ghana, he was telling me something that happened between him and his dad. He was bored at home and his dad came home. And yes man, Ojamado right there, fashionably tardy. That's my man. Yeah man, big Chris love brother. So like I was saying, the story. He was at home one day. We finished college, University of Ghana, and we are all home bored. And then his father asked him, "Why are you bored, my friend?" And he said, "Oh, he's bored. He's just bored." And his father said, "Hey, you can't say you are bored when you live in a house full of." Oh my God, I remember that story so well. It changed my life because his father is a professor. They have books in the house. So you can't say you are bored when you're living with all these wise men in the house. Just pick one and talk to him, you know. And ever since I heard that, it changed my outlook on life. And he has also introduced me to some really powerful books. One that have really changed my life was a book titled From Panic to Power. Ojamado can tell you, I used to be the most paranoid person you could meet, and it was getting on his nerves. So he actually gave me that book to read to calm my nerves, and it did. So a book like From Panic to Power is really good. So, like I was saying, this is just an introduction to my new found vision of conversation online. I want to come online and be the world changer that I've always been. Ojamado and I used to ride on a bike, a Vespa motorbike. That was our mode of transport back in the day. And I had this sticker on the side that says, "I'm a world changer through Jesus Christ." And I think it's that time has come now. I don't want to spend time beating around the bush and just entertaining. Yes, what do you say? What's even funny is that I never read that book. I only just a messenger. Yes, I always for real, for real. He didn't read it, but he had to give it to me because he knew I was gonna need it. I read From Panic to Power, Ojam. I did, and I thank God that you were there to share that book with me. It was never selfish with books. And one other material that Ojamado shared with me was the science of mind. I got emails. I was in a newsletter that I was reading, The Science of Mind. He had a book actually. So I went online and I started getting on Yahoo Messenger, Yahoo Mail. So yeah, I'm on fire. I hope we can all resonate and realize that the way our country, Ghana and Africa is right now, looks like we just came out of a war. It's so bad, but it's not too late. It's just a revolution of the minds that we need, because our fathers' generations have reached their point where they can't really do much. We have to take over. And if we spend all our time just talking about entertainment and sex and relationships, man, we are in trouble. It takes, you don't need a prophet to tell you this. You can critically analyze and see that we are in trouble. And I know that countries like Malaysia and Singapore used to be in our situation that we are in like 20, 30 years ago, but they managed to turn things around through the reshaping of their minds, through constructive conversations between leaders. And when I say leaders, I don't mean those politicians that we vote into power. I'm talking about those of us citizens who read. And when citizens read, we form a nucleus of leaders. So we have stuff that we look out for before we select people to spearhead our agenda. Because right now Ghana is like it's in the dark. Ghana is in the dark. The whole country is dark. It's stumbling. Just a select few people have access to funds, and they drive in big cars and living in luxury. And the majority who decide the direction of the votes are living in abject poverty. And when I say poverty, the World Bank defines a poverty or a country that's poor as living under $1. There are millions of people living in Ghana and Africa who live on less than $1 a day. And I pause for you to think about that. There are millions of people in Ghana who live on less than $1 a day. Some don't even live on $1 a day. They live on $1 a week, which is so pathetic to talk about. This is just the beginning. I hope that we are going to come together and form alliance of critical thinkers online before they take it from us, because unfortunately we have not been able to develop our own system of internet, so we're going to rely on this for this time being. So as we have the access, let's make use of it whilst it lasts, because very soon I have a strong feeling we are going to have to either pay for this internet or it will totally be taken away from us. So I give thanks for those of you who are listening and who share the passion that I have, that when it's time to come on board, let's share our voices, because I believe in the creationist story. Our words are very powerful. And so when we meet and we talk about solutions, we are creating solutions. But when we meet and we talk about problems, we are creating more problems. I don't have time for problem conversations. Don't come and tell me the problems in nice words. Come and tell me solutions in faith, so that can be our reality. I like all of you who have come on today. Big up yourself, Ojam Ado. Fashionably tardy. I wish you all follow him. He has a fashionable style or sense. That's my friend right there. And I see all of you today. This one, I'm not going to be spending too much time. I'll be coming on and off because the internet is an open space. Sometimes I drive around and I see open space community, which means I don't even know what it is. I have to look it up. But I'm trying to create an open space community on my platform here, whereby, we meet when we can. And then I'll try and save whatever the conversation is and post, so that those who miss the meetings can catch up. Because the problem we have today is critical thinking, philosophical conversations, principles, policies, procedures. So, if let's say you are in the health sector in whichever country you're living in abroad, you've observed things that work, things that are making the system work right. You can share those systems, policies, and procedures on this platform, because I know that some of us are going to be in positions of authority, and we can implement some of these things when that opportunity comes. Yeah, big up yourself, everyone. Big up yourself. I know this is just the beginning. Want to create, a change. Create an alternative. I'm not against entertainment. I love entertainment. I used to raga. I used to rap. I used to dance. I love all of that, but on a scale of priority. On a scale of priority, I think critical thinking is something that is really lacking in our communities and societies. And as we talk about it, it will spread like a virus, because if nothing is there to compare with, can use the COVID pandemic as an example. See how that information spread like wildfire. It was through the power of the internet, through the power of WhatsApp, through the power of TikTok, that the whole world came to a shutdown. We can use that same system or principle to bring about emancipation of the minds in our communities in Africa. It is time. I feel like it is time. I'm gonna do my bit. I'm on fire right now, but my fire is still little. Just a little fire flickering right now. But if we all come together, we can create a bonfire, and then it will spread like wildfire, I believe. So I'll just make it short on this introduction. Like I said, it's an open community. I can come on and off as and when the Spirit leads. And so I can be able to post this. I hope this one is under 10 minutes so that I can post it on my. Oh, wow, it's 23 minutes already. It's a clear sign that time is really flying. We are getting old as we spend our times, and so we need to leave our mark. We need to do something. That theory that the white man has done this, nobody has time for us. We have to create the ecosystem to secure our future. Nobody has time for us. They are also capitalizing on the opportunities that are available. If you have leaders who have signed contracts that gave only 1 or 0.1% of proceeds to the countries, because they lack critical thinking, because they feel like they are at the mercy of technology and information. But today we can all we have an open platform. No, what's the word? We have an open playing field whereby it's all about how you put your request in. ChatGTP is there for all of us. If you don't ask the right questions, you get limited information back. So if it's time for someone to come up and share their expertise, principles, knowledge, or philosophies, let's share it openly. Hey, Prisca Lane, I see you. Let's share it openly, because there's a principle that he who gives never lacks, and he who hoards, what's the word? It's in the Bible. It's somewhere in the Bible that the people praise the one who gives out the grain freely, and they hate the one who hoards. So if you have knowledge or information that has improved your life, it is time that we create an ecosystem where we share these principles. And then when we go out there into the communities where the majority don't come online, we can share it with them like the way the foot soldiers do in these political parties, so that we can hold these people accountable. Critically thinking, in my opinion, I feel like we've got a bunch of non-readers who found their ways into politics. I don't call it politics because right now it's about trickery. They can come and tell you a lie just to gain your votes, and then when they get in, they tell you stories. So we need people who are critical thinkers, who will go into our society and share these knowledge with the people on the grassroots, because we are at a critical point right now. We are growing, my generation. When I turn my head, I can see a little bit of gray hair somewhere. It's just not bad, but it's scary that what are we going to leave behind? The children who will be born from 2025 onwards, what is the legacy they're going to inherit, unless we get serious about these kind of conversations. So I'll end it here. It's been 26 minutes. Oh my God. So that I can post this, and then others can also watch it and see what the agenda is going to be like. I don't care for followers. I don't care for the money. I care for the information, the principles, the philosophies, and the ideas that we can put out there for others to also digest. Increase love every time. So I'll end it here and then go about my life. I'll come back when the Spirit leads me again. Thank you all for passing through. I see you all. I acknowledge some of you. I can't mention everybody's name, but as time goes on and we create the ecosystem, Nick Sales, Auction, Kobe, Priscalline, you're all influencers, and I respect you all. I know that we are all world changers. We are all passionate about our country, Ghana, getting to a level where majority will be readers, because that is our only what's the right word? That's our only guarantee of a secured future. Sewa, I'm powerful. I see you, Empress Pfizer, Prophetess. I see you, Sage. Fashionably Tardy, Ojam Ado. I see you too, brother. Critical View, Akwesi 95. Kobe, my man Kobe, Rita Edu, Helen, BGD, Eddie Moore. I see you all, Russell, Beardsill, Charity Kirky. I see you all, Lord Arkham. Lord Arkham, I've watched some of your interviews. I really like that. And Amit, Cheryl Joy. Nice names. I see you all, Kobe. I see you too. Lord, Mississippi Girl. Yeah, Mississippi Girl, you're the first person to join me. I respect you for that. So yeah, guys, I'll end it here so that it wouldn't get boring, but it will be consistently enlightening that we all come together when you have the time. I know we are all busy, but when you have the time, please come on and share your bit, because that's how we can bring about change. Little fire coming together can form a tidal wave of bonfire. So big up yourself, and I hope this comes out nice. Okay, bye for now.